Hi, children. Today we are going to study about the topic called gratuity. This is an income from salaries chapter. So we'll understand the term gratuity. What do you mean by gratuity? In a very simple word, gratuity means any lump sum payment or compensation received by an employee from his employer for the service rendered or worked for a long period of time. That compensation or a lump sum amount paid at the end of the period, at the time of retirement, we can say, is termed as a gratuity under Section 10, subsection 10. Normally, if an employee works more than 5 years, the company will pay him a certain lump sum amount at the time of the retirement to an employee. That lump sum amount, we term it as a gratuity. Okay, children, now when we receive a gratuity, when an employee receives a gratuity, okay, the question will arise whether it is taxable or not taxable. If it taxable, to which extent it is taxable. So that we will see now. Tax treatment of gratuity. There are two types. One is an employee, if an employee is a government employee, or if an employee is a non-government employee. We'll see the first one. Any gratuity received by the government employee at the time of retirement is fully exempt from tax. Say a government employee received 10 lakhs at the time of retirement. Nothing to be deducted as tax. It is fully exempted, only in case of a government employee. Here, specifically when I say a government employee, he should be a state or a central government employee. Understood? So once again, I will say, any gratuity received by a government employee at the time of retirement is fully exempt from tax. Now we see how the tax treatment will be made for a non-government employee. See, in case of a non-government employee, it has been divided into two. One, covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. On the other side, not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. Both are different calculations. First, we'll start with the non-government employee related with the covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. Here, actual gratuity received, that means an employee receives a gratuity at the time of a retirement. That we are going to consider. Then, less least of the following for exempt tax. Three conditions are there. Out of the three lesser one, we are going to subtract it from the actual gratuity received. We'll see what are those three conditions. The first one is 15/26 into last drawn salary into service period. 15/26. What do you mean by this 15/26? See here, 26 means the Income Tax Act consider 1 month 26 days. That means 4 Sundays are removed. So we get 26 days. Okay. And 15 days salary for the calculation of gratuity. Okay. 15 days salary we are going to take for the calculation of a gratuity. How do we consider that salary? Means the last drawn salary, last month salary we are going to take into account. How salary is calculated? Now question arises, how it is calculated? Salary includes basic salary, dearness pay, dearness allowance. Three things. Basic salary, dearness pay, dearness allowance. The three components we are going to add it and multiply by 15/26 into service period. Now service period here, when I call service period, the fractions of the service period, more than 6 months will be converted into 1 year. Less than 6 months will be totally ignored. We are not going to consider. So now, for example, service period, when I say I have worked for 39 years, 5 months, 1 day, I do consider only 39 years. 5 months, 1 day is ignored. Whereas if I work 39 years, 8 months, 1 day, so it will become 40 years converted into one completed year of service. So this is how we are going to calculate the service period. Next one, actual gratuity received. Already it will be there in the problem that we are going to write the amount. Maximum limit in case of gratuity, 20 lakh, it has been fixed. 20 lakhs. Suppose if I work from 2 or more employer, the ceiling limit is 20 lakh. Okay, understood, children. So these three things we are going to consider while calculating gratuity covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. Okay. So here one more thing is there. Suppose an employee works on a seasonal basis. Seasonal basis is not regular on seasonal basis. Say for 6 months or 7 months or some other like winter or summer or in between he will come and work. In that case, instead of 15 by 26, we are going to consider 7 by 26. 7 days we are going to replace in the case of 50. That is basically the calculation of gratuity with respect to covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1970. Now we go to the next one, not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1970. Here in not covered, one small change is there. Same case, how we are calculating on the other side, like actual gratuity received, the amount received from the employer. Then again, the three conditions we need to satisfy here. Here, instead of 15 by 26, we do consider off month salary. Off month salary into average salary. There is a calculation here. In that case, we have seen last drawn salary here, average salary. Average salary specified 10 months salary immediately preceding the previous year. We should go back. After the retirement, we should go back and calculate for 10 months. That salary we are going to consider here. How we are going to calculate the average salary? Average salary means basic salary, dearness pay, dearness allowance if it enters into retirement benefit, commission based on the fixed percentage turnover of an employee achieved. Basically, suppose I repeat, basic salary, dearness pay, dearness allowance. Suppose dearness allowance does not enter into the retirement benefit, we should ignore. We are not going to calculate. Likewise, commission, if they have not given, it is based on the fixed percentage. Again, the commission to be ignored. 10 months, how we are going to calculate? After the retirement, we are going back. Previous year, we are going back. Preceding the previous year. That previous year, we will leave. And then that previous month, we are going to leave. And then we are going back 10 months. Okay, that is how we are going to calculate. After that, when we get an average, when we get a consolidated salary for 10 months, divided by 10, that is 1 month average salary, we are going to multiply into off. Okay. Into service period, the same thing. Service period here, fractions are totally ignored. There we are going to convert it in excess of 6 months. But here, it should be ignored. For example, if my service year is 39 years, 8 months, we consider only 38 years. So sorry, 39 years. 40 years, 10 months, I do consider only 40 years. 10 months will be totally ignored. That means fractions are completely ignored while calculating not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. Second point, gratuity actually received. That will be in the problem. We are going to write the same amount over here. Maximum limit, 20 lakh. By default, it's 20 lakh. Okay. This is how we are going to calculate for not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. So we come from the three items. We will come from the beginning. Any gratuity received in case of a government employee is fully exempted. We need not deduct the tax. Second, any gratuity received in case of a non-government employee covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. 50, we are going to calculate 15 by 26 into last drawn salary into service period. Actual gratuity received, maximum limit 20 lakh, will be subtracted from the actual gratuity received. That will be a taxable gratuity. Again, coming to a non-covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, off month salary into average salary into service period. Average salary, we are going to calculate basic salary, dearness pay, dearness allowance. If it enters into retirement benefit, commission based on the fixed percentage of the turnover achieved by an employee. Then gratuity actually received, maximum limit 20 lakh. Lesser will be subtracted with the actual gratuity received. That will be a taxable gratuity. So this is how we are going to calculate in all the three cases. Now, children, we'll directly solve one problem so that it becomes very easy for us to understand. Practically, we do now. Okay. This is an examination problem. Appeared in exam in the December 2008 then 2011. Mrs. Moshmi Das, resident. See, Moshmi Das is an associate. Stated she is a resident. An employee of SRM Limited. So she is a non-government employee. It's a private limited company, so non-government employee. Retires from her service on 16 Jan 2024. When she retires, 16 Jan 2024. After servicing for 36 years and 6 months and 1 day, see, her service is for 36 years, 6 months, 1 day. She receives gratuity rupees 97,000 as gratuity under the Gratuity Act 1972. See here, it is covered under the Gratuity Act 1972. So 36 years, 6 months, how much it will become? 37 years. More than 6 months, what I told, it should be converted into a completed year of service. So we have to consider 37 years. At the time of the retirement, her basic pay was 2,300 per month and dearness allowance rupees 400 per month. So 2,300 plus 400 will be 2,700. So we'll see. Since first we mentioned the name associate is Mrs. Mousmi, M-O-U-S-U-M-I, Mousmi, M-O-U-S-U-M-I, Mousmi Das. Okay, status resident. Resident. Category non-government employee. Non-government employee. Non-government employee. On the right-hand side, previous year 23-24, assessment year 24-25. This is a format computation of taxable gratuity. Now I will write here covered under payment of Act 1972. Okay. So since when I say covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, I'll see first actual gratuity received. How much they have received? I'll write in the amount column 97,000. Okay. So least of the following. Gratuity actual received will be the same amount. Then since it is covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, that is so here 15 by 26. 15 by 26 into last drawn salary. See, in the problem we do consider here the basic salary 2,300. I'll just open the bracket. 2,300 plus okay, I'll mention so it will be very easy to understand. Plus 400 is the DA, dearness allowance. Okay. Then I'll close the bracket into how much share of service? 36 years, 6 months. So 37 years of service. So I will take a calculator. In calculator, I'll just calculate 15 into 2,300 plus that will be 2,700 into 37 divided by 26. I do get 57,000. Here I'm writing 57,000, 635. Okay, maximum limit is 20 lakh. 20 lakhs. So least of the following I do consider as here least is 57,000, 635. If I subtract 97,000 minus 57,635, I do get 39,000, 365 is the taxable gratuity. It's children, this is a very simple problem. So here, since it is covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, what do I do? 15 by 26 into last drawn salary into completed year of service. See here, the fraction is there since it is more than 6 months, 36 years, 6 months. So I have taken as 37 years. So here the salary definition is basic salary plus dearness allowance plus DA. We have only two items. Basic salary, they have given 2,300 and dearness allowance 400, which has been added up. So it comes around 57,635. When I subtract from the actual gratuity received, I get taxable gratuity as 37,365. Okay, children, I hope so you have understood. Thanks a lot, children. If there is any doubt, just get back to me in the comment section so I can solve your problem. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank you.